Hey, what's up, guys? Malicious Jasper here. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. The video is probably gonna be Pokemon Showdown or The Binding of Isaac. I haven't decided yet. Still have to make the video. What I want to talk about this week is the fact that I'm going to college, so I won't be having as much time to record and edit videos. I'm trying to keep a schedule of at least 3 videos a week. Could be more, could be less, but it will depend on how much work I have for my education. And then the other thing that I really wanted to talk about this week was the fact that I have a new laptop, and it's a pretty damn good laptop. It has Windows 8. Not a big fan of it. Windows 8 can suck my balls. I mean, I cannot find anything at all. I mean, I get the idea behind Windows 8, right? And if you have a tablet computer, it's probably gonna be a lot better than it is now for a normal laptop. But there is a big but, and that is that the normal start menu is gone, so I don't know where every program is, and I have to keep looking and looking and look. It took me like 5 minutes to find out where fucking Notepad was. That's right, it took me 5 minutes to find Notepad, because bureau accessories and all that shit, poof, it's gone. Can't find it anymore. Maybe it's there somewhere, I don't know. I hope it's there, but maybe I'll do some more searching. The good news about that also is that my laptop is way better than any computer I've ever had, and I can finally play some newer games on the PC. So it opens a lot of, let's play possibilities, especially Guild Wars 2. I can finally, hopefully, up, the resolution and up the graphics settings, and it probably won't lag anymore. So that's gonna be, more entertaining to watch, because when it lags the entire time, it's not that entertaining. I know that. Then also new chances of playing new games. So I still have a couple of games on my Steam account. I don't have many computer games, and definitely don't have a lot of recent computer games, but the problem is that my current PC, my desktop PC, has a shitty graphics card of only 256 megabytes. So it's pretty shitty. Most games require 512 or sometimes even 1 gig to run, and I don't have it, so that means I couldn't run it before, but now I can, because my graphics card and my laptop, fucking awesome. 2 gigs of memory, I like it. I really like it. But you can expect, more Let's Plays of more recent games, I hope. Also, the new computer will probably edit quite a bit faster, or that's at least what I hope. Well, not edit faster, but render the video faster, because it takes 2 fucking hours with my PC right now. And I hope the new one would, be done in a jiffy, in like 15 minutes. So that means I can make more videos in the same amount of time, because the problem is when I'm rendering videos on my desktop PC, I cannot do anything else, because it takes a lot of resources. But with my new PC, I might be able to do some other stuff, maybe record, or maybe I could, do other stuff. And the fact that I have a laptop that can now edit, I can edit on my laptop, waiting for it to render, and record a Let's Play on my desktop PC for the Xbox and Xbox 360 Let's Play, and then I can easily transfer the files from my PC to my laptop. So I'm hoping things will go a lot smoother. So there's actually only one more thing on my list that I want to have before I think I'm set to have some decent recordings, and that is a decent mic. I would love to have a decent standalone mic. I've been reading up on microphones and all that, and from what I've heard, the best mic price quality would be the Snowball. That's from the things I've read. That's a good choice. I don't want to spend too much money on a mic because I don't have a lot of money, and I'm gonna have to save up a little bit before I can afford my new mic. But in the meantime, I still have this pretty decent headset, and it has worked so far. So it'll probably work, a little bit longer. Let's hope. Then what else? What else? Still waiting for my Nintendo DS, 3DS XL. I'm sorry. I hope it arrives soon. I should actually check the mail because it's possible that since I've been at school the entire damn day and my parents, they work, and my little brother goes to school as well, and my big brother still has 1 week of vacation left, but he's working. So it's possible that they dropped a note saying that I could either pick it up or, or they could deliver it another day. So that would be interesting as well. Hoping I can get that soon, and then I'll be happy because I'm really excited for Pokemon X and Y. I didn't want to buy a new Game Boy to be honest, because the Nintendo 3DS was quite expensive. So I think an XL is easily 180 euros, and then a normal one is 150 if I believe. And then I saw news about the 2DS, and I was thinking, well, it's quite a bit of money that I'll save, so maybe I'll buy that. But then I did some searching online, and I found someone who sold their Nintendo 3DS and 3 games for 85 euros. So immediately contacted the guy, and I'm hoping I get my 3DS XL very soon. What else do I want to talk about? I don't think there's too much news game related. Everybody is waiting for GTA 5. Well, I'll be waiting for that as well, but I don't have the money to buy it immediately. Or has it been released yet? I don't know. I think it might actually release tomorrow. Anyway, so I really want to buy that game, but the problem is I don't have the money. And even if I had the money, I'd probably spend it on a Snowball mic instead of GTA 5. Besides, I'll be busy, and I still have many games that I haven't played yet. So, to be completely honest, I want to play it, but not at the beginning. I did the same thing with GTA 4. I have never ever played GTA 4. Well, I have played it. I recently finished it, but that was only because GTA 5 is coming out pretty soon. Haven't played GTA 4 yet, and I was looking for a game to play because I was bored. And then I thought, well, I can do some GTA 4 then, and I then started playing GTA 4, but only because GTA 5 was coming out. So I think I finished playing GTA 4, I think maybe a month ago or something, and that was the first time that I actually finished the game. So, I waited 5 or 6 years to play. No, 5 years. 5 years to play GTA 4. If I wait a year for GTA 5, it'll still be an improvement. Then I don't think. Yeah, maybe the multiplayer still won't be available at launch for GTA 5, which kind of sucks. I get what they're going for, right? I get the fact that the developers, they put a lot of effort in stories and single player campaigns, or at least some effort. And there are plenty of people, for instance, who buy Call of Duty and immediately start playing the multiplayer aspect. And maybe they play zombies or multiplayer, but the campaign is always something that's, people don't want to play that anymore. In the past, when I was young and playing online wasn't such a big thing, it was all about the single player experience, right? During the first console days, the NES and the SNES, which was even before my time, you didn't have multiplayer. You might have split screen multiplayer. Hell, you could play. It's possible you could even play with 4 people. I'm not sure about the earlier system, but for instance, on the N64, you could play with 4 people. That was the multiplayer. That was the multiplayer. That's it. So you actually had to have friends who wanted to play that game. They all had to be free at the same time, come over at the same time, and then you could play that game, right? But nowadays it's easy because many people have access to internet, or I don't know, high speed, but definitely access to internet. Many people can play online, and it's easy to find people to play online with, because you just search for a match. For instance, if I want to play Team Deathmatch on Call of Duty Black Ops 2 online, then I just have to go to Team Deathmatch, and then it'll automatically search for people with whom I can play. That's it. That's all you have to do. So no inviting friends over. That is actually a thing of the past, because split screen, 4-player split screen is going away, right? In the old days, that was all the multiplayer you could possibly have, 4 people playing against each other. But now it's just everybody wants to have an enormous TV with whatever game playing. But I can understand that, because the graphics of the games have been improved greatly, and if you want to enjoy the game at its fullest, then you have to play it on a bigger screen. But that's something that's going away. That really good single player is still hard to find. I think most RPGs have a decent single player, but then again, that is debatable. There are RPGs who don't have a real single player. For instance, Torchlight 2, it doesn't have any real single player. You just pick a few quests, you clear out the areas of enemies, and then you talk to a guy. That's your quest most of the time, or you kill a giant monster. Those are your quests. And if you play that on your own, it gets pretty boring from time to time, because there is almost no story in there. Quests are really short, really easy, and in general not very interesting. But if you play that with multiple people, it could be a lot more fun. And that's what's happening right now. More and more single player games are disappearing, and developers are putting a multiplayer, are focusing more on multiplayer or co-op. Co-op is something that you see nowadays as well, a lot more co-op. But they're focusing on those sides because it keeps the game interesting for longer periods of time. So if you have a decent multiplayer, people will come back for it and play the multiplayer some more, and then you can get, for instance, more revenue, because if you release DLC, they might buy the DLC, or I don't know, maybe more people will watch videos on YouTube, on channels. I don't know. It's just something. They want to have a fan base, right? They want to have a player base. They want to have people who buy every part of that game. They want to have die-hard fans. Same with Assassin's Creed. I'm not a diehard Assassin's Creed, but I can understand why people are diehard fans. So the first Assassin's Creed was a completely new thing. It was completely new game genre. If it wasn't actually a new game genre, but it was more a really, original game. That's why people liked it. Could be improved a lot, but it had original ideas and was really interesting. That's why people liked it. You also, afterwards, they made Assassin's Creed 2, which was well liked by gamers around the globe. It was, in my opinion, the pinnacle of the Assassin's Creed video game series, in my opinion, because it was followed by Brotherhood, whose single player was lackluster. I don't know what it was. The fact that you were always in Rome was really boring. Your missions were strange and all that. It didn't make a lot of sense either. So that's why I didn't like it too much, single player. But they announced, well, they implemented a multiplayer feature. So yeah, that's a good thing for the fans of Assassin's Creed, because they can now play against each other. But it's also a great way to sell more copies, because basically I think the graphic engine was still more or less the same. I'm not completely sure, I could be completely wrong, but they had to buy the new game to play the Assassin's Creed multiplayer. And then you had Revelations, which featured Constantinople. Haven't played it. My little brother played it, said it wasn't that great. And then again, people bought it. New multiplayer maps, maybe new multiplayer game types. I don't know, but people, they changed. The same thing goes for Assassin's Creed 3. Because it looks better, people want to play it because, it looks better and it's another era and all that. People buy it and people want to play it for the multiplayer mode. In my opinion, Assassin's Creed 3 single player, I was very disappointed. In the beginning I was pretty interested, right? Because you played as, the father of I don't even know what his name is. The Indian boy. Anyway, you are his father. The father is a Templar, but you don't know that in the beginning. So you're doing these kind of missions and you're thinking, oh, I'm doing assassin missions. But actually, you're not doing assassin's missions. You're probably doing missions to prevent the assassins from, growing, or to eradicate them, right? So the beginning was good but slow. And when I saw the when I was playing and they told the one guy, welcome to the Order of the Templars, I was like, wait, what? Have I been playing as a Templar for the entire goddamn time? I don't want to be a Templar. I was surprised that they could hide it that well. And I was like, whoa. So everything that I did, what I thought that was good, was actually good for the Templars and not good for, the good guys. So that was really well done. But then you play as the Indian boy, and the beginning you have a really boring stuff about, playing hide and seek and shit with other children from the village. That was fucking stupid. Then your mother dies, alright. It happened, wasn't spectacular. It was, you could see it happening from miles away. So and then you're thinking, okay, there is something, maybe it can still be better, because that's a very boring part. Then you go to the next part. Connor, that was his name, Connor. He's older now, and he's still part of the village, and you're thinking, okay, this might get interesting. It doesn't. The only thing, I mean, the climbing in the trees and using the trees is pretty interesting. Don't get me wrong. That is really interesting and actually well done. I'll commend them for it. Really well done. The problem is that Connor as a character was fucking lame. He was lame, and the way he talked, I just didn't like it. And then the fact that you have to do missions for an assassin who the assassin is a black guy. I'm sorry, we were playing in, the middle of the no, not the middle. We were playing during the American Revolution, right? Against the British. That's when it all started. There was a black guy who owned a giant mansion, right? He owned a giant mansion and a huge plot of land. That didn't happen back then. Black people did not get to hold land. So that was something that disturbed me as well. And no, it was also pretty short for what it actually was, because it's I think 12 or 13 chapters, the game, and the first 3 are when you play as Connor's father, as a Templar, if I'm not mistaken. Then there are 2 where you play as Connor himself, but in a child and or younger version, adolescent version. Not very interesting. A lot of doing nothing. And then the game, kicks off, but things are weird and things go fast and all that. It's just not so good. But what my original point was is that people bought it because Assassin's Creed had a good reputation, but also for the multiplayer. People bought that game partially for the multiplayer. I didn't buy it for the multiplayer. I barely even played the multiplayer. But the single player wasn't actually worth the purchase, or at least purchasing it new. And then the third one also had a lot of DLC. So I can imagine that the people who bought it partially for the multiplayer and partially for the single player eventually also bought the DLC packets, and that, of course, made a lot of money. That's all I can say about it. So it's just, they're really, really good single player games. They're dying out. They are dying out. They are a dying race. From all the recent games, most of them had a disappointing single player, in my opinion. They had a disappointing single player. I'm not sure if it's with every game that's made nowadays, but there are quite a bit of games that I play them, and the multiplayer, most of the time I do play multiplayer. At least I check it out, but I always feel that the multiplayer is too big of a part of the game. That, for instance, Halo 4, right? Halo 4, the first Halo was relatively long, but the levels and the level design was very repetitive. So that's why I didn't like the first one all too much. But it's been only recently that I played the first one on the anniversary, 10-year anniversary thing, right? But since then I've played, I think I might have played some other Halo games, but I played Halo 2, loved that game, great game. Played Halo 3, it was a good game as well. It was a good game. I've never been that much of a Halo fan, but it was a decent game. 2 was definitely my favorite. But when you play the fourth one, Halo 4, when I played it and I got at the last mission, I thought that was it. Seriously, that was the entire campaign. I mean, level-wise, they might have been the same or even shorter than the previous Halo games, and there were only 8 missions. I thought to myself, what? This is lame. I mean, they want to tell a story, and I can understand that they, want to write a story over multiple story arcs, that they want to make a new trilogy, but it barely had any story. I mean, the connection between them. So I got interrupted there for a moment. What I was saying was that Halo 4, that I understand that they want to create a new trilogy, but it was way too short. The good thing was the connection between Master Chief and Cortana, which was interesting. It felt a lot deeper and more intense than in the previous games. But I have to say, the game itself, the story of the Didact, not so good. But I'm noticing that I'm running, that I've been going for quite a while, so I'm just gonna cut it here. And I will see you guys with my next video or next Let's Talk in probably a week for the Let's Talk, and video somewhere Thursday. So I will see you guys. Peace out.